Hello, and welcome to Laurie and Gary's Norwegian Joy cruise. Now, if you saw our last cruise video on Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas, you may have remembered that I said that our next cruise was going to be an Alaskan cruise with Celebrity. Well, guess what? I got COVID the day before we were supposed to fly to Seattle. Literally my first time getting COVID the day before our dream cruise. It took me a week to recover, and when I did, I saw that there was one cruise left, this Norwegian Joy cruise from New York City to Virginia Beach and Bermuda, that I still had vacation time left to take. So we purchased this the day before. We purchased it on a Saturday, it left on a Sunday. And while it wasn't exactly what we wanted, we still managed to have a great time. So without further ado, let's get started. This was our 10th cruise, and I don't know why I never knew this before, but the main dining room is open for lunch when you board the ship. I don't know why I didn't know that. We've always gone to the buffet, but this time we did the main dining room. It was awesome.
Time for our cabin reveal. Cabin
14212.
reveal. And Gary's going to give us a tour.
Here we are.
Here we are. Ooh, it's dark. Okay, so here we are. We figured out the door. So Gary, give us a little tour.
Okay, this is a tour of the standard balcony cabin.
Yes.
This is a bathroom. We haven't seen it yet. And here we are. Standard.
It's a nice bathroom, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Nice. You don't have any shower curtains clinging to you. That's why I like this glass shower.
Nice floor.
Nice floor. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a king size bed right here. I love that. Lots of closet space. Lots of closet space.
Oh, really? Oh, good. This is the first time we're seeing this, so.
A ton of
hangers.
Yeah. And there's shelves here, shelves up there. Lots of shelves here. The safe is right there. Our valuables, because we carry thousands of dollars in cash with us all the time.
It's the TV.
It's a huge mirror.
Large mirror.
Yeah. And this is the fridge.
And let's check out our balcony.
Yeah. This is actually comfortable. They usually aren't. Oh, look at this. This pulls out. And that comes off. And the, for a little dinner or whatever. Here's the hair dryer, which they never put in the bathroom due to electricity. I mean, just because.
Open that balcony, baby.
Okay, here we go.
Nice. Decent sized balcony.
52 square feet. Yeah, it's a nice balcony. I love it. It's a great view.
And Manhattan.
The bridge is this way. So is Manhattan. See? Step out this way, babe. See? Lean out just a little bit so you can see the bridge. See?
Here's the outlet situation. That's it in the whole room, just the three right here.
This is supposedly is the tall.
I also want to add to the outlet situation that there were USB ports on both sides of the bed. So actually the outlet situation was pretty good. Most ships do not have that. A little more about our room. It was kind of on the small side. Like there was a really tight walkway between the bed and the wall. And there were no drawers, which we thought would bother us, but actually there were plenty of shelves and it was kind of easy just to throw our stuff up on the shelves. And the bathroom was really nice. The water pressure in the shower was great. There was tons of storage space in the bathroom. The Celebrity ship was taunting us. It's the Celebrity Summit. It was coming back to port to pick up new passengers as we were leaving. And again, we were supposed to be on a Celebrity cruise in Alaska. It was going to be our first time cruising with Celebrity, and we're really sad we didn't get to do it. Coming up, we have the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. If you've seen any of our other videos, we always sing a stupid song whenever we pass under it, so this time was no different. Here we go.
Verrazano Narrow Bridge. Verrazano Narrow, Verrazano Narrow, Verrazano Narrow Bridge. The Verrazano Narrow Bridge. Verrazano Narrow Bridge. Narrow Bridge, it's gonna hit me. Verrazano Narrow Bridge. Don't look up top. The Verrazano Narrow, the Verrazano Narrow, the Verrazano Narrow Bridge.
And enough of that. So the first night we ate at one of the included restaurants at the Manhattan Club. Here's a little bit of the menu for you. The food was pretty good. We have been cruising with Norwegian for 10 years. It was our first cruise. We did the Norwegian Gem, like our second year dating. We went on the Norwegian Breakaway for our honeymoon, and I feel like the food went from amazing to really bad, and now it's okay. In Norwegian cruises past, one of our biggest gripes was that they no longer offered lobster on the ship. Every sail away evening, they used to have lobster for dinner in the main dining room. It was available to everyone. Then they had no lobster, not even in the specialty restaurants. Then they brought back lobster in one specialty restaurant, and now they have lobster available for an extra $25 fee, which is basically what Royal Caribbean has, except Royal Caribbean does have a lobster night towards the end of their cruises.
Warm apple pie with caramel sauce and a scoop of ice cream. And this pie has been in the refrigerator. I ordered it warm.
This is some video footage of the Manhattan room. I actually purchased a gimbal, which is like a little steady cam for the iPhone for this cruise. I couldn't figure out how to use it properly. So unfortunately, some of the footage is shaky and I apologize. I also want to add before we move on from the Manhattan room or club or whatever it's called, that the service was kind of slow. They're doing this new thing where they type in your order into an iPad and it's not super time efficient, and the servers were having a hard time of it, and it took over an hour and a half for us to have that meal. So now we're entering our first stop, Virginia Beach or Norfolk, Virginia, and I have been here before with work, but I had never been here before on a vacation, and this was our favorite stop. We love this stop. If you like US history or war history, this is the place for you. We didn't even have to purchase an excursion here. There is a huge battleship right off of the cruise dock, complete with a full museum. It was $10. We spent hours there. Also, the town of Norfolk is right nearby with a mall, a shopping mall. My feet were hurting me. I purchased new sneakers. And then the downtown area was super cute. We walked around there for a while. We went into Starbucks, charged our phones. It was just a lovely day. Again, this is the battleship USS Wisconsin. It is literally located directly off the ship dock. After a full day in Norfolk, Virginia, we were hungry for a snack before dinner, so we went to the local bar and grill. That's the snack place on Norwegian. They're open most of the day. They do have a breakfast, and then they have snack foods every day. Here's an example of the menu. And we went there a bunch of times. I'm just going to show you this time, but the food was really good. But again, service was a little weird. One day I ordered something called like country breakfast for breakfast. It was supposed to include sausage, eggs, bacon, tomato, all that stuff. And the server just brought out eggs. And I was like, where's the bacon? Where's the turkey? And he was like, oh, you didn't order that. And I was like, it was supposed to come with this. And he went back and got it, but it was just weird. Since we are a little bit of food snobs, we purchased the 5 specialty dining package. This was Ocean Blue. It was our first specialty dining restaurant we went to. It was obviously the seafood-based restaurant. And it was good, no complaints. Here's a little bit of the menu for you. And again, they had lobster available here, but it was a $25 extra fee. It would have been nice if at least one of the specialty dining restaurants included lobster, but it did not.
So I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight. Gotta flip it and grip it and go and get it.
This was one of the appetizers we ordered. It was scallops with pork belly. Delicious.
New England clam chowder, hot soft bread, tuna, and Laurie.
Yeah, all I need are some better days. 'Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah, that's all great. But I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait, no, it's living with no.
This is the promenade deck, or it's called the waterfront on this ship, and it is awesome. We literally went for walks around the ship every night. It goes around almost the entire ship. Some of the specialty dining restaurants have seating that is just off the promenade deck as well. So if you love sitting outside while you eat, this is just a great place to do it. And it's time to say goodbye to Virginia Beach, and then we had one sea day to get to Bermuda. Here's a little bit of the atrium for you. I'm obsessed with that light. I think it's super cool. A really pretty atrium. On this night, we went to see a comedy show in the social club. That is where they hold the comedy shows. We saw comedian Mark Klein. He was funny and super clean comedy. I love it when a comedian can be funny without using profanity. Good choice, Norwegian. Now we're moving on to the observatory lounge, and this was our safe haven. It was our safe space. Yes, kids are allowed here, but it tended to have way less children than other areas of the ship. It was a super nice place to read, especially if you are a morning person. There was hardly anyone in there in the morning. They also served a small breakfast and then snacks throughout the day. And then you could also purchase Starbucks, and they had a full bar. The upper area is the buffet area, which looks out over the observatory and then over the front of the ship. We came here a bunch of times just to grab a Starbucks, chill out, and read and watch the views. And this was my only time in the buffet. Just grabbing a breakfast super quick, and that's all you'll see. After that, I could not go back. It was a madhouse. Moving along to the gym, which I know most of you don't care about, but I care. I am a fitness professional. This gym sucked. It was awful. It looks bigger than it actually is, but for 3,800 people, there was not enough equipment. And speaking of 3,800 passengers, this ship was running nearly at full capacity, and there was never any space by the pool. Never. This was our first July cruise, and I guess we just were not mentally prepared for all the children. This was the 30-minute line we waited on to go down the water slide. You guys, I just don't think that's right. I just don't think that's right. Anyway, sorry. Moving on, we're going into Teppanyaki right now. Teppanyaki is their hibachi restaurant, and it's one of our favorites. It's a close tie for us between Teppanyaki and La Bistro, which you'll see later in this video. But this stuff never gets old. These chefs do the same stuff every single time, and I'm here for it. I love it. The food is also super tasty, and the chefs are super kind and will make any adjustments you want to your order. If you cruise Norwegian, I highly recommend Teppanyaki. And on this evening, we went to go see Footloose, which is the big book musical that the ship has on board. We were not allowed to film any of this because of copyright reasons, but Footloose is a fun show. I think it's a good choice for a cruise ship. I mean, we've seen better, but we've also seen worse. Hashtag Rock of Ages on the Norwegian Breakaway, I think it was. Blah. So this was definitely better than that and enjoyable. And finally, we've arrived to Bermuda. We were just there on our last cruise, but we love Bermuda and we are happy to go anytime. We did a glass bottom boat and snorkeling excursion this day. Say hi, Gary.
Hi, everybody.
That's us on our excursion, leaving the boat behind, headed to a shipwreck first, where we got to see ruins of an old ship, and then we went to a secluded little inlet where we got to snorkel. Our tour guide was great. It was super enjoyable. I recommend this one if you ever see it on the excursion list. And here I am in glitter and tacky LED sneakers for our evening out at Cagney's. Here's a copy of the menu for y'all to glance at. Now, one thing that makes us very embittered about Cagney's is that they used to have a surf and turf with a freaking lobster. They don't have that anymore. Again, I think lobster was available for an extra $25 fee here, but come on, it's already a pay-for restaurant. Can't you just include a lobster tail in the surf and turf, please? We both got shrimp cocktail as an appetizer, and I got like a grilled fisherman platter. Gary got a filet mignon. Everything was good. Just wish that they had surf and turf back. And now coming up was my favorite part of this entire cruise. This couple was an aerialist couple. They had about a 45-50 minute show. They did everything. And I don't know if you all know this about me, but I am an aerialist. Not like these people were aerialists, but I teach beginning silks in New York City. And I was wowed by this show. And I don't know if anyone remembers our Norwegian escape video, but one of my biggest gripes was that they had no aerial points on that entire ship. I even asked the cruise manager, and he was like, no, we don't have any place to rig aerial. So there is no aerial on board the Norwegian Escape, and there was a ton of aerial on the ship, and this show was a highlight. I don't know how long this couple's contract is for or how long this particular show will be on board the ship, but if it's still playing when you go on your Norwegian Joy cruise, go see it. Here's our cruise director, Roberto. He was great. We didn't see him a lot, but when we did, he was fantastic. And this is one of the days I went to the main dining restaurants for breakfast alone. Here is the menu for you all to see. It was pretty good. I ordered a breakfast burrito this day. It was excellent. Actually, I wanted to say it had fresh avocado in it, which in the past Norwegian says it's fresh avocado, but it's really like some sort of old guacamole. So this was an example of the food being better than in cruises past. So coming up, you'll see all these people lined up to get off the ship. Instead of just scanning your card as you exit the ship, Norwegian has been trying to do this facial recognition thing. It takes like 5 tries until the computer recognizes your face. It slows up the whole process. It is not a good idea, or they need to work on that technology. This was our second day in Bermuda, and Norwegian has a free ferry to St. George, which is nice. Thank you, Norwegian. So we went to St. George, which was cute for the first hour, and then we slowly ran out of things we wanted to do or could do, and there was no ferry back for 2 more hours. So we just kind of walked around aimlessly for 2 hours and then waited for the ferry. Maybe if you choose to go to St. George, map out more things you want to do in advance. We should have done that, but we didn't. And here we are at Le Bistro, one of our other favorite restaurants, although the menu has changed a little since we were last here. But it's a tie between Le Bistro and Teppanyaki. We like them both. This is the steak tartare at Le Bistro. Steak tartare with caper berries.
Yay!
Are you excited about the escargot, Gary?
Really excited about it.
Take a bite.
I'm in film.
Let us know what you think.
Oh,
Compare it to Royal. What do you think?
I'll just say better.
Really? But not as much butter on top. Not as much butter.
There's a lot of butter on each one of these.
Okay.
As you are watching more Le Bistro footage, let me clarify. On the Royal Caribbean escargot, there is crispy butter on top that flakes off. That is very delicious. So this escargot did not have as much flaky butter on top, but it was delicious nonetheless. Gary is a huge Beatles fan, and on this particular night, they had a show called The Beatles Story in the main theater. It was basically a Beatles cover band performing, but I'm not even a big Beatles fan, but I enjoyed this.
But I'm not the only one. Na 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 na. Okay, good night.
A little bit more of the ship for you all to see. This is the laser tag area. Gary and I did not do laser tag as it was way too crowded with children, but if you have children or teenagers, you would probably want to try that out. Here is an extra nook where people can sunbathe. Here's a chessboard. I was filming this super early. Again, after, say, 10, everything was packed all the time. Even when we were docked in Bermuda, everything was full. This was one of the paid-for restaurants. I think it's called American Family Diner. It looked fun. I know that they have like fries, burgers, milkshakes. We didn't get a chance to go. Now, here is the Speedway, which is one of the Norwegian Joy's big bragging activities. I heard it used to be included with your cruise, but now it is $15 per person, and we were going to do it, but then I couldn't get a reservation, and then I was just like, I don't want to pay $30 extra for a 5-minute ride. Here is the miniature golf course. It is one of the blandest miniature golf courses we've ever seen. We just did Oasis of the Seas and Adventure of the Seas. They both have fantastic miniature golf courses, so it was kind of hard to get excited about this, so we skipped it on this cruise. So I decided, let me give you all a little deck tour. Decks 8, 7, and 6 were the main decks where the restaurants and the shopping was and all that jazz. So the waterfront / promenade was off of deck 8. Coming up here, we have La Cucina on the right. That is their Italian specialty restaurant. We did not go on this cruise. We've been in the past and didn't like it. And since there are so many specialty restaurants on this ship, I think there's 7 or 8, something like that. We didn't want to waste one with a restaurant that we weren't too thrilled with. Here is Cellars, a nice little wine bar if you like wine. And then after that is Ocean Blue, which you saw earlier in the video, the seafood specialty restaurant on this ship. I'm giving this ship an A for cleanliness, especially considering how many children were on board. Speaking of children being on board, we had run into a young mother who told us that she had booked this cruise months ago because they told her they had childcare activities for their 2-year-old. Well, As soon as they boarded, they were told, nope, sorry, it's for 3 and older. I heard a similar story recently that the Getaway had just closed down their children's care center completely. So if you have a family and choose to cruise Norwegian, know that the child care may not be what it says it's gonna be. You may get stuck with your child for the entire cruise, and if this happens to you, I ask you humbly to please not try and drag your child to adult things. For example, there were some lectures on the ship that someone had brought their 3 children to. The children screamed and cried the whole time. I couldn't get into anything. No one could. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Just bring your kids to the overcrowded pool and deal with it. Or even better, cruise Disney. I'm sorry I'm going on this tangent, but it was just really frustrating and it happened a lot on this cruise. So while I was going on this tangent, we saw a lot of the stores which were closed because we were docked in Bermuda, and then we end with Cagney's and Le Bistro, and of course, the waterfront. Moving down to deck 7, y'all. Deck 7, we have the Manhattan room. So if I said club before, that was incorrect. It is the Manhattan room. And then we have the casino. So here are my thoughts on the casino. I am not a gambler. So as someone who is not a gambler, I liked this casino because you could walk through it easily. The hallway in the middle of the casino was huge and spacious. Also, there was a separate smoking room to the left, if you saw it, with glass doors so you couldn't smell smoke as you walked through. But if I were to put myself in a gambler's shoes, I would probably not like this casino that much because you don't feel like you're in a casino. A lot of the gaming tables and machines were very separated from each other, and there was only maybe like 3 machines in a row, and it just felt like too spacious to have that true casino feel. But again, as a non-gambler, I liked it because I could walk by easily. I was never held up by crowds filling up at any specific gambling table. So you decide for yourself. And then coming up here, we're back at the local restaurant. And something else I wanted to say about the local restaurant, it was located right off of the atrium. And in the atrium, there's always something going on 24/7, like bingo games and singers. And it was hard to escape the noise. It could be really loud there. It could get really rowdy. So if you weren't into that, I would maybe avoid the local. And then finally, we had the theater. And we're on to deck 6. Another pay-for restaurant, Texas Smokehouse. I would have loved to have tried it. But again, we ran out of restaurants in our package. And here you run into the main area. Again, that's where all the bingo games are and the music, but then there's also guest services and the Wi-Fi and the shore excursion desk. And this I thought was a little bit of a design flaw because it was really hard to hear the guest services people speak or to hear the Wi-Fi people speak when you had to go talk to them. So maybe all of that should have been located in a quieter space. Speaking of Wi-Fi, it was okay for ship Wi-Fi. It was better than our Adventure of the Seas Wi-Fi. We just went on Adventure of the Seas. But there was a full 24 hours when it did not work. And I did go up to the Wi-Fi manager's desk and I said, can we get like a partial refund just for like the day since we had no service for 24 hours? And he gave us a huge partial refund. So I really appreciate that, Norwegian. Thank you very much. Back to floor 6. This is Teppanyaki. And then we have the art gallery. I remember on our first cruise, Gary and I bought 3 paintings. We wish we could buy art every cruise, but we live in a New York City apartment. So alas, we have run out of wall space. But there's the gallery, and then here are the main dining rooms. That's Savor and Taste. We ate at them a couple times for breakfast and lunch, but for dinner, for the main dining room, we love the ambiance in the Manhattan room. Which brings us to our last day in Bermuda. We just got off the ship and walked around the port. The port area is pretty cute. There's lots of shops. There's a little coffee shop with Wi-Fi. Plenty of things to do for a couple hours. Which brings us to the Galaxy Pavilion, which is the ship's virtual reality center. They had different rates here for an hour, a couple hours, a day, unlimited, or you could pay for each individual ride, which is what we did. We did one ride together, this Dark 7D ride, and then Gary did another ride, which he said was super cool. Again, I just don't like these extra fees. And another disappointment for us on this ship is the spa does not have the thermal spa area. The thermal spa area is this area with like really nice beds, tons of hot tubs, like a salt room, a sauna, and it's usually an exorbitant extra fee, but worth it because it's super quiet and it's a great place to relax. Well, this ship didn't have that. They did, however, have this adults-only area, Spice H2O, which was not a good adults-only area. There was minimum shade. It was a small space. There was only one hot tub. Again, I'm filming this earlier in the day when we were at port, but during the day, it got insane. This was sail away day from Bermuda, and it was also the night we went to Food Republic. Oh, Food Republic. Here are my Food Republic thoughts. Okay. I thought it had some of the best food on board the ship. It had the sushi, and then it also had teriyaki dishes, and then like ramen noodles. But you had to order everything yourself from that iPad, and I get it. You're trying to do a gimmick, Norwegian. I totally get it. But for someone like Gary, who is of the older generation, it was a little confusing. And then also the ambiance of the restaurant was very drab. And if the service was super quick, so this was like a quick stop, that would have been fine. But it was actually the same kind of slow service. Things came out slowly. We were there for over an hour. So I didn't love Food Republic. And here we are on our last night at the Manhattan room. And again, the food was pretty good, but the service was super slow and we almost didn't get to our show in time, Elements. This was another dance aerial show on the ship, but I wasn't able to film it for you because, again, the ship wrote the show. So copyright reasons. And that is the end of our cruise. So in conclusion, it was probably not the best choice of a cruise for us, but I did love the entertainment, especially the aerial shows. The food in the specialty restaurants was pretty good. The included restaurants are getting better. Ship was gorgeous and clean. I think just one ride around the Speedway should be included with your cruise vacation purchase. And maybe they should come up with a reservation system for the water slide because no one wants to wait a half hour to use a water slide. OMG, you guys, really quick, I almost forgot to tell you, there is a way in to go tandem down the water slide. They have double tubes to use to go down the water slide with someone else. And guess what? Gary and I weighed too much. So I think it is horrific to have a weigh-in to do something on a cruise ship. But anyway, okay, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you've had a similar experience to me on the Norwegian Joy. We will not be cruising again for a while, but if you want to know about my journey to get my money back from having COVID for celebrity, let me know in the comments below because I can make a video on that. And thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.